Alrighty guys, we gotta have a little bit of chat about the accusations being lobbed at the new Terminator anime for being woke, despite the fact that we know literally nothing about it. And I get it, I'm part of it, I'm lumped in with this anti-woke crowd, these individuals that understandably don't want to see the continued degradation of the franchises we've grown to know and love, the continued resentment being lobbed towards all the male characters that we grew up loving. That being said, we can't be reactionary like the other side, we can't just start calling everything woke when we know literally nothing about it. So stay tuned, watch this video. If you're on the anti-woke side, know that I'm with you, but we gotta talk about some stuff. So welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and we got some articles here, 2 articles on the same day, in fact, that accuse the upcoming Terminator anime of being woke for quite literally no reason other than I assume to bring clicks to their pages, because let's be real, these guys want to be the next bounding into comics. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, and while I am being put in this culture war bag, I think it's incredibly important that you call out your own, because they're the ones that will make your side look bad and give the other side ammunition. Give them actual points to use against you when it comes to wanting to get their way with their ideology in these films, and I want to fight against that. So this is from That Park Place. Netflix Terminator the anime series will feature female protagonists. Showrunner promises to subvert expectations. That sounds bad on the surface, until you actually do the research, which I did, because this article, the guy that wrote this article, John F. Trent, decided not to do. He's just going to say, hey, I know these guys are fans of me, I know they're fans of my anti-woke content, I know that I founded Bounding into Comics, so that means I must know anything and everything about woke culture. Yeah, he doesn't even cite his sources here. I had to go through and do all the digging and actually find the sources he was referring to, and lo and behold, he doesn't have a lot of information to go off of. So let's see what this article says, and you guys can understand what I mean. And again, stick with me. I know you don't like to have your own side being called out. I know you might be upset that I'm taking an opposite stance on this, considering we've fought so hard to get nerd culture to be awesome again, but it's incredibly important that we realize we cannot be using the same tactics and ideologies that are being used by the opposite side, because at that point, if we're hypocrites, then what's the point in even fighting in this culture war to make the content great again? The new logline from Netflix's The Terminator anime series reveals the series will feature a female protagonist sent back in time to protect a scientist. Out the gate, no issue with that. No issue whatsoever. You guys might want to jump. Leon, what about Terminator Woke Fate? Yeah, okay, yeah, Terminator Woke Fate sucked. Oh well. Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles also had a strong female character. It had 2, in fact. It had Sarah Connor herself and Summer Glau playing a female Terminator, and it was an awesome show. In fact, criminal that it only got 2 seasons. You can have women in Terminator. It is what it is. Terminator 3 had a bad female, Terminator. That movie is actually aged decently well, especially when you compare it to the other Terminator movies that came after it, that is. As part of Netflix's next on Netflix 2024 preview, the company revealed the official logline for the series 2022. A future war has raged for decades between the few human survivors and endless army of machines. 1997, the AI known as Skynet gained self-awareness and began its war against humanity. It continues, caught between the future of this past is a soldier sent back in time to change the fate of humanity. She arrives in 1997 to protect a scientist named Malcolm Lee, who works to launch a new AI designed to compete with Skynet's impending attack on humanity. The logline concludes, as Malcolm navigates the moral complexities of his creation, he is hunted by an unrelenting assassin from the future, which forever alters the fate of his 3 children. Where in that description did literally anything sound woke? Again, if you want to say, oh, female character, again, screw off. We've had plenty of awesome female characters in the past. They've given us no description of this character other than she is female. I'm going to need you guys to sit back and wait a little bit longer. When I say you guys, I mean you, Johnny Boy, John F. Trent that wrote this article. I'm going to need you to kick back and wait a little bit longer until we've got some information about this character before we just immediately decide, oh, woman, so it's woke. Because that is the most reductive and harmful way to hurt this side of the culture war, to make our side not be taken seriously, because it literally makes every single accusation that the left throws against you 100% true. Oh, they just don't like it because it's got a woman in it. And we're always like, what? No, we want women as long as they're well written. And then you're over here throwing a fit because there's a woman in it when we know nothing about the woman. The series was initially announced back in 2021 as part of a deal that Netflix has with Production IG since 2018. Production IG, by the way, fantastic studio. One of the best in the biz. You want want to know what they gave us? They gave us Ghost in the Shell, known as one of the single greatest, not just anime, but sci-fi stories ever told. That was Production IG. You want to know what else they gave us? Psycho-Pass, another one of the greatest sci-fi stories ever told. Definitely one of the most revered anime of the modern age. I got no issue. I genuinely believe the Production IG Terminator Anime, if nothing else, will be gorgeous to watch. But I get it. We want the story to be good. We want the story to meet our expectations as fans. I think that so far, we don't have any reason to doubt it will. We don't have any reason to have faith in it either. Well, actually, we might have reason to have a little bit more faith considering who's behind the adaptation, but we'll get into that in a moment. At the time, details about the series were sparse, although John Dodarian, Netflix's vice president of Japan and anime, stated, "Terminator is one of the most iconic sci-fi stories ever created and only grown more relevant to our world over time. The new animated series will explore this universe in a way that has never been done before. We can't wait for fans to experience this amazing new chapter in the epic battle between machines and humans." Again, so far, nothing controversial has been said. I mean, I can get behind that, just like as company lip service, as corporate speak. That's a completely fine assessment. While they were calling it Terminator the Anime series, they announced the series was being showrun by the Batman scriptwriter Matt Tomlin, meaning it's not an actual Japanese anime. Well, hold on. All it takes to be an anime is that the animation is done in Japan. So yes, it's 100% an anime. Like by definition, anime doesn't have to be written in Japan. Witchblade is an anime. Guess what Witchblade's an adaptation of? The American comic Witchblade that came first. Or what about the Wizard of Oz anime? Or the Treasure Island anime? Just because the story wasn't a Japanese story doesn't mean it's not anime. But again, I don't expect John F. Trent to know that. I think John F. Trent is a fake nerd grifting on culture war stuff, because then he would know everything I just laid out. But he's wrong about something else right here. He says it's similar to their Castlevania show, where it features stories and scripts from the West and animation from Japanese studios. Castlevania did not have animation from Japanese studios. It was American studios. It was Powerhouse Animation Studios out of Austin and Frederator Studios out of New York. So yeah, go ahead and get your information wrong about how it's similar to Castlevania, where all they did was use Japanese studios. They didn't even use Japanese studios. And if you'd have done a modicum of research, if you had done the minimum of a Google search, you could have known that. But you don't want to do that. You assume you know all the answers. And that sort of thing is what's hurting our side of the culture war. Tomlin confirmed at the time the show would subvert expectations, saying, "Anyone who knows my writing knows I believe taking big swings and going for the heart. I'm honored that Netflix and Skydance have given me the opportunity to approach Terminator in a way that breaks conventions, subverts expectations, and has real guts." Now, he may have said this. I won't lie. I was not able to find this particular quote, and of course, in true journalistic fashion, John F. Trent here, Johnny Boy, he doesn't source where this came from. I'd like to know where this came from. Now, I did find this interesting quote from him. I thought this was good. This is back from 2020 when he was talking about his own show, Project Power. With original films, with Project Power, there's a different kind of pressure, because you want people to embrace it and you want people to see it, but it doesn't have those expectations. And he's talking about the expectations of something that's IP based. Nobody knows what Project Power really is yet, and therefore it can kind of be anything. That, to me, there are two halves of the same whole. But if it's IP, it's your job to look at what the responsibility is based on expectations, figure out the right way to subvert those expectations, and then also deliver. And when it's original, you just got to show them a good time. And he's 100% correct. I'm getting real tired of this narrative that subverting expectations is inherently bad. Subverting expectations is absolutely not inherently bad. Now, they do it in a bad way in a lot of modern woke stuff, but that doesn't mean subverting expectations in general is bad. The Sixth Sense subverts your expectations. It's known as one of the best, anxiety-driven, one of the best, thriller mystery movies of all time. The Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars, the classic, precious, original trilogy, subverted your expectations by having the bad guys win. That ain't exactly common in sci-fi or in fantasy or anything to that effect. So yeah, I'm tired of this idea that subverting expectations is bad, when clearly, in my opinion, Tomlin out here is talking about subverting expectations the correct way. If it's IP-based, people are going to go in with expectations. Well, you do kind of want to subvert those expectations. Otherwise, why would people buy it? Why would people go in to see exactly what they already knew they were going to see, what they were going to get? You still got to have them, keep them guessing, keep them wondering a little bit. But again, when you have culture war idiots like John F. Trent, who just want to throw out whatever, buzzwords will sound good for the right side of the aisle, or the correct, whatever he considers the correct side of the aisle, instead of having people actually critical think about the culture war and about what we need to do to make this sort of content great again, to make this content not so get woke again, for lack of a better word. Yeah, obviously we need to reach across the aisle. We need to make some changes. We need to stop all the fuckery that's going on with the woke crowd in terms of our content. But you don't do that by blatantly making shit up that you could have easily fact-checked. You could have easily typed into Google to get right. And you definitely don't need to make stuff up about something being woke that we literally have no information about. This was not a lot of public movement on the project until 2023, when Netflix released a teaser trailer back in November. Clearly, the series has a ton of red flags, the main one being that it's a female protagonist going back in time instead of the first film's Kyle Reese. It's set in 97. Like, why would Kyle Reese go back in time to protect this scientist? Did you, what? Why? We've already seen the Kyle Reese story. If we're getting a new original story, which I would prefer, everyone's, oh, there's too many remakes nowadays. All of a sudden, hey, why isn't it Kyle Reese? Why not just remake it but as an anime? What do you want? Give me some consistency here. I don't want to see Kyle Reese in the anime. I can watch Terminator if I want to see that. Now, do I want to see this female character be, the paragon of wokeness and feminism? No, obviously I don't want that as well. I just want a well-written Terminator anime that I can get behind, because it'll be the only good Terminator project since T2. Again, T3 is actually aged kind of well when you compare it to the other stuff, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, who cares if it's not Kyle Reese? We don't need Kyle Reese in the anime. Or the second film's T-800. So he's upset the main character isn't a dude. When the left says things like, oh, they're upset at seeing strong female characters, yeah, clearly they're right. I hate giving credit to the woke crowd, but it seems like the woke crowd is 100% correct. Apparently there are some culture war douchebag morons out there that actually do just get upset when women happen to exist in film or in media or in comics or whatever. As Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, literally came out in like 2004 or 5 or something to that effect, and it was good. They had 2 female characters that were awesome. It's not like this is unheard of for Terminator. On top of having a female protagonist, one can only imagine how it will subvert expectations. They likely won't kill John Connor or turn him into a Terminator from an alternate dimension, given that's already been done, but it wouldn't surprise me that he's shown as an incompetent leader and the female protagonist goes on the mission to spite him. We don't even know that John Connor is going to be in it! Again, this is him just blatantly lying and making stuff up. There has been no confirmation that John Connor will even be in this anime. We don't know anything about it. We have the bare minimum of knowledge about this upcoming Terminator anime. But because he'll get those culture war clicks and get those right-wing chuds all up in their fifis, he'll write whatever it is. He's doing the same shit that Kotaku or the Mary Sue or Game Rant or insert any woke leftist, nerd corporation, article writing company does. But he's doing it on the right-hand side. So yeah, when you see the left throwing out all these accusations, it actually turns out it's true about some of the people that in this movement. But you know what? Let's take a look at Mattson Tomlin, because I'm sure if he's dogging the dude so much and dogging his work, then he must have reason to. Well, I don't see any pronouns in the bio. In fact, the only thing he's really done of note was he was one of the writers on Matt Reeves' The Batman. One of 3 writers. Now, he's done some other stuff. Mother Android, I haven't seen it. I don't know anybody that has. Imposter, Berserker, a lot of these are things that are actually upcoming. He doesn't have a lot that's already out. But yeah, we don't see any pronouns in the bio. Let's go through. Let's see what he's been saying on Twitter. We see any woke stuff? Alright, so here he just retweeted a convention. More convention work, him signing at a convention. Here's a pic of 2 guys who like making comic books together. Let's see, we got more of his work right here that's being retweeted. A GIF from Ninja Turtles. Granted, it's the shitty modern Ninja Turtles, but still a GIF from Ninja Turtles. I'm seeing literally nothing. Oh, here, right here. Kratos versus Hulk. The winner, unquestionably, would be whoever the writer wants to win based on the story they are telling. And a funny gift. I mean, that's not wrong. That's how comics have worked literally forever. Or what about, this is what will eventually turn me into Jack Torrance? And it's stills from The Matrix. The dude is clearly a nerd at heart. Right here. Madison, hey my man, are you able to give us a hint on much longer we have to wait to see the official trailer for Terminator Anime? And he just responds with, I'm not authorized to answer your question. So he responds with a Terminator gif. What a cheeky bastard Madison is. I like the dude so far. Looks like he's got, nope, I'm not seeing any sort of pronouns or anything in his Instagram bio either. Filmmaker plus comic book writer who cares. That's how he bills himself. Comic book writer who cares. And you know what? Based on what I've seen of his Twitter, of his interaction with fans, it seems like that is 100% the case. When you got Cosmic Book News doing effectively the exact same thing that the Park Place said, Netflix has released the synopsis for the upcoming Terminator anime series, which reveals it's a twist on the first movie that was released in 1984. Again, it didn't reveal that. It's just, it seems like it's a different, maybe, if anything, it's a twist on T2, like, because it takes place in 97, but where do these individuals get their information? It's mind-numbing. Yeah, of course the alarm bells are going off as the synopsis for Terminator the anime series sounds pretty woke. We know how switching things up worked in the recent Terminator movies. Dark Fate also features a female soldier going back in time. In addition, IPs like Doctor Who, Ghostbusters, Marvel, Star Wars worked out as massive failures, but guess what? Ghostbusters had a movie recently that was awesome. The new upcoming Ghostbusters movie also looks awesome. Who is the main character of the most recent Ghostbusters? That's right, it was in fact a female. Like, there's obviously going to be ebb and flow and there's going to be changes. I do not understand the obsession with assuming everything is going to be woke out the gate. Is it because there's a financial incentive to continue the culture war? Are these outlets so upset that the money's going to dry up now that it looks like the culture war is winding down? Because when we see all these massive cultural victories, like certain video games being less woke, and in fact, Stellar Blade fired feminists from the game because the feminists complained that, well, the game wasn't feminist enough. When we see culture war wins like that, when we see the absolute gains of things like Vivek Ramaswamy appearing on Friday Night Tights, there's a clear shift in the culture war that we are winning. And I think these guys are frightened. I think they're terrified that their culture war dollars are going to dry up because there's no more angry fanboys to milk about, oh, look at these woke women in your movies and your games. And I hate that I gotta make this video. I'm so absolutely annoyed by the fact that I have to sound like one of those raging woke leftists. But let's be real, the other side of the aisle ain't exactly correct right now, and they're doing nothing but lying to your face and trying to get you all riled up over nothing, when there's literally a culture war at foot that we could win with logic and reason. And we could say, hey, One Piece wasn't woke. It had some elements to it that some might find, annoying or whatnot, but as a whole, it wasn't woke. Let's take it as a win. Mario Bros. Wasn't woke. Let's take Mario Bros. As a win. And you can get into the discussion of whether or not you thought Peach was overpowered or whatever, but at the end of the day, we're definitely moving in the right direction. What is going on with these individuals who want to blatantly lie for clicks and make our side look like the people that the left claims we are? It's madness. But those are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at BoltTheWord. And please do subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. Not always about nonsense like this, but anime, music, movies, Magic the Gathering. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon. Also become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord. We have a lot of fun in the Discord. Also, it gives you the option to suggest topics for me to cover in case you get tired of stuff like this. And of course, it gives you a discount on my merch. You can buy merch. Use discount code VITALIDLE and get a t-shirt or a mug. Whatever it is. But remember, until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere, and this has been Words of Paradise.